Hey everybody, if you look in your favorite translation of the Bible at the first epistle of John, chapter 5, verses 7 and 8, how does it read? There's probably going to be either a shorter version or a longer version. The shorter version would just read, "There are three that testify, the Spirit, the water, and the blood, and these three agree." If that's not what you have, then you probably have the longer version. "There are three that testify in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit. These three are one. And there are three that testify in earth, the Spirit, the water, and the blood, and these three agree." That longer version is known as the Johannine Comma, and this is probably the most famous textual variant in all the Bible. It is not in any Greek manuscript of the first epistle of John prior to the 13th century CE. The earliest reference of any kind to that longer version of that text as coming from the first epistle of John is a 4th century Latin text called the Liber Apologeticus that is ostensibly quoting from 1 John. And then in the 5th and 6th centuries we see more Latin texts quoting the first epistle of John and attributing that reading to chapter 5 verses 7 and 8. It's very clearly not original. When the Dutch humanist scholar Desiderius Erasmus published his edition of the Greek New Testament that we now refer to as the Textus Receptus, he did not include the longer reading, the Johannine Comma, because he could tell it was not in any of the Greek manuscripts that he was using. He got pressure to include it in later editions, and he said he would not include it unless someone could produce a Greek manuscript that was trustworthy, that had that reading. Lo and behold, one suddenly appeared. And so reluctantly, Erasmus included the Johannine Comma in the 3rd edition of his Textus Receptus. And guess which translation of the Bible into English made use of the 3rd edition of Erasmus's Textus Receptus? If you guessed the King James Version, you are correct. Now, the King James Version became the most famous, the most influential English translation of the Bible of all time. And most editions of the King James Version include it to this day, and we know for a fact that it was not a part of the first epistle of John.